Okay. It's interesting when we walk outside how there's just a relief of fresh air. Like, I don't know about you guys, but being inside for the majority of the day, as soon as you walk out, it is just so refreshing. I've walked out a couple of times because I had to do a reconnaissance around internet and around rain. So, I'm all set and protected, but coming out several times, it was just that whole, quite a relief. So it's not, obviously today it's about cold, but it is the freshness. And even in summer, when you walk out from the air conditioned spaces to come out and to actually have that deep breath of fresh air, is really invigorating, and it really does help you to sort of get that mindset around this is a bit of a reset button. Now my dog has come to say hello. This is very random being out here. Anyway, moving on. So the first point I wanted to talk about was just the impact of being outside and connecting with nature. And it's just a reset button, but it's also just a button around being simple and taking a step away from all the complexity of the world and of our lives. So fresh air, getting fresh air. I'm sure you've heard the expression at some point about, getting fresh air helps a person feel better. I know, my mum used to say, go and get some fresh air. It'll make you feel better. It'll make you less grumpy. Or, if you were getting a cold, it would be like, go and get some fresh air. That's what you need. Not many people, though, know why fresh air is good. But it's around the oxygen, apparently. And it's around the oxygen that is just more unadulterated than the oxygen and the air that's inside, that's impacted by cooking smells and heat and cooling. So oxygen obviously is really essential for maintaining your healthy brain function, but it's around growth and healing as well. Um, the brain's extremely sensitive to the amount of oxygen that you get. So it obviously makes sense that you're going to feel better when you're outside getting more oxygen. I feel quite, it's weird being outside and getting that fresh air. I actually do feel better, even though I'm sitting on a very cold bale of straw that my veggies need. It is actually really quite invigorating just having that fresh air. So you can imagine then going for a walk, the impact that will have on you as well. So breathing in the fresh air and being outside will improve your brain function. So essentially being cooped up in the office isn't going to be great. So taking that time to get outside, whether it's at lunchtime, whether it's just having a break, getting that fresh air and that break is really beneficial to your brain function. So a great suggestion for better work performance is to take a walk outside during your office break times. So being outside also boosts your energy. So do you crave another cup of coffee during the day? I know that can be me every now and again. Hannah and I hit a slump the other day and we were like, yep, we need some fresh air, but then I also may have gone and got coffee as well. So maybe taking a sip of your coffee and sitting outside instead. Spending time outside for 20 minutes has actually been shown to improve your energy level and to give you a boost. So tomorrow, is it coffee or fresh air? I'm going to try the fresh air just so that I'm not just talking one thing and doing something else. So I'm going to give it a try. So nature also improves your psychological well-being. So being outside will improve your psychological well-being. So being in nature helps to regulate your emotions and it improves your memory function. So taking a walk outside will improve your memory results more than those who were then walking down like urban streets. So being outside in nature, so whether it's just being in your garden or finding a park to walk around, will be more beneficial to your memory than just walking the streets along pathways and along traffic. So being outside in nature also can benefit those who are suffering from low mood. People suffering from mild to major depression showed significant improvement in their mood when they're exposed to nature. That's pretty powerful stuff. When you've got studies that prove that being in nature helps mental health and depression, I'm like, wow, that's significant, and we need to listen to that. And you don't have to have chronic mental health or chronic depression to actually utilize that as a strategy to lift your mood. So being outside also reduces stress by lowering the stress hormone cortisol. So once again, this is data to prove that it's worth going outside. Spending time outside in natural scenery has also been shown to improve concentration as well. So I'm sure we can all benefit from improved concentration. I know I can. Increasing your vitamin D level. Now, we all know that vitamin D helps, calcium and bones and all that sort of thing, but it also helps brain function and also has a significant impact on mood as well. So I don't know if any of you have heard around the mood disorder, seasonal affect disorder, but it's a form of depression that is significant when winter basically comes. So the levels of seasonal affect disorder are obviously quite high in those countries where winter is significant. So Norway, their numbers of seasonal affect disorder are far greater than those in Australia. But it does go to show the impact of the sun and daylight on mood. So vitamin D also reduces inflammation and helps brain functioning. So there's lots of reasons why vitamin D and getting outside is beneficial. During winter, vitamin D levels really, really drop, which makes sense. So going outside, even when it's like this, is beneficial, even when you're sitting on a wet thing and your bottom's wet. Anyway, moving right along. Stress reduction is another aspect of why going outside and connecting with nature is a really positive thing. So many of us are working and cooped up inside. Also, being inside has that whole connotation of stress. So getting outside can reduce your stress. Remote learning has obviously meant that a lot of us are inside more. I know in our work, where if we're on site, which obviously I'm not today, we are in the wellbeing office more. Whereas when students are on site and the staff are on site, we're in and out of the building. That's not happening now. So you haven't got that stress reduction by just simply going outside and having that fresh air. The incidental sunshine that we all get going in and out of buildings, walking to classes, that's not happening now. So we need to be really intentional to say, I need to proactively build this into my day. So apart from all the other things that we should be doing to look after ourselves, looking at how can I get outside? How can I have just some fresh air every now and again? How can we put that into our schedule? So physiologically also, the sun helps reduce heart rates. It also helps reduce some of those overthinking things that we can do. So it can be just a reset where you walk outside and you're forgetting all the complexities. So the stress reduction and the complexities is a positive impact of getting outside. Taking a walk will also just help to produce endorphins. So, the happy hormones by getting outside, going for your walk, will also be alongside the benefits of fresh air and vitamin D. Both being outside and walking works together to promote positive well-being and just to improve your overall state of mind. So mindfulness is something else that you can do when you're reconnecting with nature. By being mindful in the garden and being out in nature really helps you to, I suppose, take the whole of nature. So not just be out there and use it as a time to be on your phone, but as an opportunity to really take the whole of what nature is offering, which is the simplicity of it, the calmness and the serenity of it. So allow yourself to be outside, free of all the distractions of having your phone or your work. It also means that you can be in the zone. So being mindful and being outside is really helping you embrace everything that nature has to offer. So how can you do this? Particularly at this time, how do you enjoy the outside? Obviously, you can't just go wherever you want, and it needs to be, I'm losing my hat. It can't be beyond the 5 kilometres. So you maybe can't go on your favourite walk or your favourite run. But sorry, is there a favourite park that you haven't, is there a park that could become your favourite that you haven't explored before? Go on Google Maps and see, is there a walk that you could do that you haven't found before? Is there a track that you've not discovered before? Take a look on Google and perhaps look in a different area. You might be surprised what you can find. What about a picnic in your backyard? That could be kind of cool. You know, we're having these odd sunny days. Obviously today isn't one of those days. But, you know, taking out a cup of coffee and sitting on the ground, you know, if you've got kids or dogs or cats, you know, really just embracing that sort of picnic feel. I did think a wacky idea last night. I was like, wow, I could use, I could get a fire pit going and toast marshmallows for today. And then I was like, yeah, but it's raining and, you know, I'm going to have to navigate, you know, keeping my computer dry and internet connection. So I was like, yeah, maybe I won't do the fire thing as well. But if you've got a fire pit, you know, pull out the marshmallows and do that. What about a garden? So I was challenged today to sit out here in my veggie patch. So this is some of my veggie patch. These are my snow peas that I haven't got any yet, but it looks pretty cool. So, you know, start up a veggie garden, or what about a kitchen garden with some herbs? You know, you don't have to be a green thumb to get herbs going. And herbs are sold in Coles and Woolworths, so you don't even have to, you know, order online at Bunnings. What about revamping a bit of your garden that perhaps needs a little bit of love? You know, that's something else that you can do to spend some time outside. You can get your garden going, ready for when you're allowed to then go to nursery. So, you know, do your Google research, pull out the old stuff, get things going, ready for when you can then give it a little bit more love when we're allowed to go and choose the plants yourself. So today was literally just about stopping and thinking, you know, we've got these inside lives at the moment, but don't forget, getting outside is really, really good for your well-being. Be creative and work out, how can I get a little bit of outside time into my life so that I can, you know, feel better, get fresh air, get outside, get that vitamin D into you, and just go, yep, reset, going to leave all that stuff inside and take a little bit of me time and be really mindful and hopefully feel better for it. So thanks for your time. And I didn't get wet. I'm so excited. I'm going to have to go and change because my pants are very wet.
Thank you, Marianne.
All right. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
See you.